Hello and welcome to the list of my 10 favorite Elvis Costello songs. As with previous top 10 videos I have made, I would like to stress that this list is my personal favorites and should not be viewed as an objective account of the 10 best Elvis Costello songs. Elvis Costello is without a doubt one of my favorite musicians and songwriters of all time. He has often been considered by music critics to be a mercenary of music, conquering different genres of music throughout his long and impressive career, whether it be punk, new wave, rock and roll, or even country. I've been working my way through Elvis Costello's complete discography since I was about 14 years old, and now I think I'm at the point where I can comfortably say which songs have left a lasting impression on me. As of making this video, Elvis Costello has released 30 studio albums and has been credited in writing or co-writing over 700 songs. Narrowing it down to just 10 has been incredibly difficult. You won't find many hits on this list like Allison, Radio Radio, or Pump It Up. That's because so much of his best work I think has gone overlooked, and even if you don't agree with my selection, I hope after watching this video you discover a song that maybe you hadn't heard before. Before I begin, I want to say that my selections will come from Costello's solo career, as well as his work with the Attractions and the Imposters. So without further ado, here's my list. Number 10. Pay It Back. The album, My Aim Is True, has an extremely unique sound, one that doesn't get duplicated throughout Costello's ensuing career. What stands out in this song is the juxtaposition of a catchy sounding new wave song combined with the heavy narrative of a protagonist indebted to the law and his significant other. Witty one-liners throughout the song, such as trapped between the doctor and the magistrate, leave the listener of the song pondering the mindset of the protagonist throughout the narrative. Furthermore, the guitar runs throughout the pre-chorus are a simple little touch that have helped this song make a lasting impact. While this may not be the first song that comes to mind when one thinks of My Aim Is True, it is fun and electric in sound, and for that it has certainly earned a place on my list. Number 9. Monkey to Man. This work of art doesn't make it difficult for the listener to feel like an intellectual while listening to it. A tongue-in-cheek political jab that was appropriately released in the early 2000s, what I love about this song is the illustrated dichotomy that mankind often demonstrates, most notably through the lyric Crying Statue and His Flying Bomb. In short, this song considers our close evolutionary relatives discussed that are twisted and destructive ways. The message alone is not what earned this song a place on my list though, it's the combination it has with a melody and a background band that makes this song stand out. The groove this song has creates a steady rock and roll groove that is hard to find in the period in which it was released. The fact that it contributed to an album that made number 40 on the Billboard Top Album shows off its strength. Using a style successfully so far out of its element helps this song succeed in dynamic fashion, and for that it's earned itself a place as number 9 for me.
I wish you'd known me when I was alive.
Number 8. God's Comic. After 9 straight albums with the Attractions, Costello returned as a solo act and produced this gem of a song that is one of his most unsettling and yet still charming. What is dark, creepy, and agnostic in tone, this song creates a parlor band's ambiance with a theme that boils down to the following. Humans are so mediocre that God is either non-existent or at the very least has an extremely dark sense of humor. One can also enjoy the comical and underhanded jab at Andrew Lloyd Webber in this piece. Costello himself once revealed in an interview that this song is, quote, about a drunken sleazebag priest dying and arriving in heaven, which is nothing more than God's MFI warehouse. The level of musicianship demonstrated in this song is truly remarkable, both instrumentally and vocally. Costello's ghostly background harmonies haunt me every time I listen to this song. That, along with the level of cynicism in this piece of music, has helped it secure a place as number 8 on my list.
So there he was on a waterbed, drinking a cola of a milk. You need protection from the physical art of conversation.
Number 7. You'll Never Be a Man. This powder keg of a song has for the most part left me scratching my head over what exactly Costello was trying to say when he wrote it. The only thing that is clear is that the song is a commentary on the feminist philosophy of Germaine Greer. Maybe this is just me symbol hunting, but I have a hard time believing that all of the lyrics rhyming with Germaine were just a coincidence, i.e. pain and porcelain. It's my conclusion that Costello left the message of the song intentionally vague to let the listener make up their own mind. One could easily read this song as a criticism of Greer as they could a criticism of the protagonist of the song's point of view. Regardless, the truth is that the lyrics are not what got this song on my list, but more so the music. While not viewed as his best musicianship, the tone of the piece perfectly captures the energy that early to mid Elvis Costello provided. The song puts me in a musical car ride that is constantly hitting the gas and slamming the brakes at all of the right measures, and for that it earns its place as number 7 on my list.
My eyes come down to find a point of possible saturation.
Number 6. Blue Chair. The comfort of nostalgia is front and center in this piece. I have heard several different interpretations of this song, from an actual physical blue chair, to two friends arguing over the emotional possession of a call girl, and even to the strange comfort one gets when looking back at lost love. Simple things like the conversational back and forth during the chorus help make this song great. The idea of watching your troubles rise like smoke into the air and drift up to the ceiling creates great imagery, and it goes hand in hand with my mood when the weekend comes around. It is definitely worth mentioning that this song has an alternate version recorded with T-Bone Burnett during the King of America sessions with the Confederate Band. It is different in its own way, but it's certainly worth checking out. To this day, I'm still puzzled how this song failed to chart when it was released as a single. Anyway, this is one of my favorite songs to listen to on a Friday evening after a long week, and I could not make this list without giving it a nod.
She's gonna bend you mad. Well, I hope it don't bleed forever.
Number 5. Riot Act. By far one of the more powerful songs, especially when looked at in the proper context, this song was written in response to the controversy Costello found himself in after he had drunkenly used racial slurs to describe Ray Charles and James Brown in a bar in Columbus, Ohio, while talking to other musicians including Bonnie Bramlett. After a fight had been incited, Bramlett took the story to the press and Costello found himself in hot water. Interestingly, the song this album is on is indebted to the likes of Charles and Brown in a very musical way. Methods and styles of soul as well as rhythm and blues can be heard throughout the entire album. What I think makes this song shine is the level of passion that the listener gets from Costello during the song. Whether or not it makes up for the comments Costello made is left up to the listener. If you're interested in learning more about the affair, Costello discusses the events in detail in his new book, Unfaithful Music and Disappearing Ink. Anyway, I think this song demonstrates Costello at his best and has undoubtedly earned a place on this list.
All this downtown insolence, I would be happier with an easier. With cows embrace and lo and behold, I'm a blade basin of
Number 4. Two Little Hitlers. One of the more simplistic songs from a music theory perspective, what makes this song stand out is the detail and thought that goes into what appears to be just another new wave tune. Sticking mostly to the 3 chords of blues and rock and roll, this song has lyrics that perfectly encapsulates the drudgery that inevitably ensues from any long-term relationship. I believe this song sends the message that as long as you're unable to see and treat the other person as a human being and instead merely objectify them, there will be no real love, and as time passes, your self-centeredness can only lead to bitterness. You're left with a relationship where one member wants their feelings heard while the other wants their urges satisfied. fighting will continue until one member finally capitulates to the other's demands. By using the dark and evil imagery of Hitler, I believe we can all see this song as a clear warning about how to conduct ourselves, which further illustrates Costello's creative ability. And for that, it's earned itself a spot as number 4 on my list.
I drown. Dirty words for dirty minds, written in a title town. So if you see me, look surprised.
Number 3. Either Side of the Same Town. Written with the help of the legendary producer Jerry Ragavoy and also performed by Howard Tate, this song is truly remarkable. Like I've already said, Costello has been called a mercenary of music, and I believe that no song better demonstrates that than this one. Who would have thought that 25 years after making a name for himself in punk and new wave, Costello would be making a US Top 50 album by paying tributes to the likes of Johnny Cash. Stepping away from his more complicated lyrics, Costello presents a simple country story in this song of a relationship that ends in a small town, making it difficult to continue normal life. The sheer level of emotion felt during the course of this song is something that has me keeping this album close by in my music collection. It's songs like this that have helped Costello maintain a solid and respectable level of relevance in the music industry through all eras of his career. And for that, it's gotten itself a spot as number 3 on my list.
Either side of the same town. Could you teach this little child these curses on my soul? Should both be shut down in the cold.
Number 2. Battered Old Bird. Sentimental and yet poignant, this song tells the stories of old characters from Costello's childhood. The elderly figures in this part of his life are illustrated as people who still have the capacity to commit great evil. Yet these characters still involuntarily demand the sympathy of the listener. Living in the home stretch of existence, these individuals feel as though they have outstayed their welcome in the world. They have reached that point in life where few people come around, and now they are simply marking time and waiting for death. The reference to the little pink pills can be interpreted in a number of different ways, but as far as I'm concerned, the lyric raises the moral question of keeping the elderly constantly medicated in order to make their last days bearable. While this definitely is not a song you would start out with in order to introduce someone who is unfamiliar with Costello's work, it still is an absolute jewel box of music. This song completely unchains Costello's passion without being overly dramatic. Just missing the mark on being my number 1 pick, this song by far earned its place as number 2 on my list.
Old bird, living up the world. There's a place where time stands still. Keep taking these little kingdoms.
Before I reveal my number 1 pick, I'd like to pay tribute to a few honorable mentions.
The sky was just a purple bruise. The ground was iron. And you fell all around the town. Do you look the same? I'm giving you a longing look every day, every day, every day, every day, every day I write the book. Well, I recall his parting words. Must I accept his fate or take myself? So I whisper and speak, but don't get me wrong. Please don't leave me waiting too long, waiting too long, waiting. Better face to face in the morning.
Number 1. New Lace Sleeves. Alright, this might not be exactly what comes to mind when you think of Elvis Costello's best song, but keep in mind this is just my personal favorite. The nice hi-hat and bass drum accompanied by a Motown-sounding bass line help introduce the incredible poetic-sounding lyrics. Regrettable one-night stands, class warfare, and revisionist history all help demonstrate Costello's ability to pack an entire novel into one song. Double entendres, like the teacher only telling you white lies, show how witty Elvis Costello can be. I would also recommend that any Costello enthusiast sit down and read the lyrics of this song as a poem without the music. Doing so gives the song an entirely new dynamic. Don't let me be misunderstood though, the music in this song provides the perfect chemistry to create a true masterpiece of art. Nick Lowe, accompanied by the essence of Costello in his prime, create an amazing combination, and that alone made it impossible for me to make this list without this song being number one.
Though you know you have been captured, you feel so civilized, and you look so pretty in your beauty sleeves.
So there you have it. Those are my 10 favorite Elvis Costello songs. If you're still watching, chances are really good you're a big fan of his work yourself. I would love to hear what fellow fans of his have in their top 10 favorite songs of his, so let me know in the comments if you feel so inclined. Also, if you enjoyed this video, please consider leaving a thumbs up. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you later.
Oh, I know they got their problems. I wish I was one of them.